Welcome back, everyone, to Warlords of Avernus. We are missing the King of Bards, but he'll be back next time. We have traded in for a Tatiana. I'm pointing in the wrong direction.
Oh, it's the right direction on my screen.
Yeah, I know. And then I'm going to be doing editing later, so I might move everybody around even more. So I'm just going to point in every direction.
You'll get it right eventually.
One of these is going to be right.
Again, I am a professional person. I conduct these in a highly professional manner.
Should we do this like the Brady Bunch, where we all start looking up and then we look down and then we look right?
Sure, let's all look up. I'm on it.
There we go. Now you can be on all of them.
I use the word professionally very loosely because it's not like there's any money involved in this anyway. We are a labor of love.
Not getting paid?
And no, not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. When I get enough people to give me money, I will share some of that with you.
And then we'll get a studio, and then we'll get an awesome fucking table like what Critical Role has. That table is badass.
I'll absolutely, especially for the ones that are local to me. I'm not going to say where we are. I don't know where Jesse's gone. He's just not going to come back, apparently. Go. Oh.
Ready.
Oh. Thank you for joining us. I'm ending the show here.
You know what's funny? Watching you do that, I literally was thinking to myself, it's Halloween. I'm pretty sure I can find some goblin ears somewhere and put them on the sides of my freaking helmet, my earphones.
Yeah.
And then wear them whenever I'm always wearing the same earphones.
Yeah.
This is great. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to fight next to this bunny man. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go. This barbarian needs some blood.
Hey, Stormbreaker. Nice.
Please tell me that your mallet goes honk whenever you hit things.
I can add that sound effect to make that happen.
Well,
oh my God.
You will have a quick chance because we are going to be rolling back time about a month or so when Ella, you are trapped in hell. Time doesn't really have any meaning anymore because the sun seems to be setting. The sky is always red. There's never night. You only know it's a new day because you had to sleep. And you have been running for most of the time since the city of Etriel was brought down to Avernus. You've been being pursued by a pack of devils. And I imagine that, at the moment you're like sort of rounding around a ravine because you think that there's some shelter. Go ahead and describe your character for us.
Okay. I'm definitely not just coming up with this on the spot because I got everything together for my character and then forgot I needed a character description. Because that would be
way.
Yeah, that would be not professional of me, but I'm professional. We're all professional here.
Yes, clearly.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Just look at Crumpler. So Ella is a dark gray tiefling. She is about average height, I'd say about 5'7", 5'8". She actually has black hair, very like cut short. She had it longer when she used to have it longer, but especially since she's been on the run, she kind of cut it very short and choppily because she didn't want to trip over it. But how else do I describe? I haven't had to describe a character in such a long time. yeah, I think that's it I can think of for right now.
And just because, I forgot to ask this question before we actually went live. At this moment, you are a cleric of Mithra, right? Or what's her name?
I think we changed it.
Yeah,
yes,
but
it is.
well, I mean, this
Mithra.
is before, so Mithra. Okay.
Yes.
I figure you were probably a cleric at this time, unless you're
Yes.
just a perfectly normal person who just happened to be outrunning a pack of devils.
No, she is a cleric. So
Okay.
actually, I will say she carries a mace and a shield with her, as well as she has a crossbow that she usually keeps on her back.
Yeah.
A light
Okay.
crossbow.
Yeah. Everything we talked about is going to happen. I'm just, kind of setting the scene in my head. So,
Okay.
yeah, you've, while you've been here, you can pray to Mithra, and your power is still there, but her voice is very faint. But it's usually something encouraging, like, hold on, stay strong. But these devils just haven't given up. And as you're rounding the ravine, that you remember seeing that just beyond it, there was a crumbled city, plenty of places to hide. But for some reason, when you get around to the clearing, it's nothing but wide open spaces, nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. And the pack of chain devils on these, you can hear the roar of their demon riders as they come up. A bunch of chain devils just start circling around you, extending their chains to make a complete circle that you can't escape from. And finally, one of them kind of breaks from the pack to roll up. And since you already speak Infernal, I'm guessing,
yes,
you understand him when he says, "Hand over all your soul coins, mortal."
In Infernal, I'll respond and go, I don't have any soul coins on me.
And he kind of looks back, and he doesn't say anything, but you can kind of see from his movements that there's a conversation going on as he turns back and says, "We'll find another use for you." And he wraps you up in chains, and they drag you back to this. You've seen Zariel's flying fortress in the distance. It's impossible to miss because it's huge and it's flying, and it's usually headed towards the next biggest battle. They bring you to one that is on the ground at about a 20-degree angle, and they decide to keep you in one of the cells. Occasionally, you hear them debating what exactly they're going to do with you. They could try to ransom you off to one of the hell prisons. Maybe Maradi will give them something for you. That would be bad enough. But the cell they've thrown you in has one of the functioning speakers, and there is just nonstop demon self-help or devil self-help tapes playing, apparently. Because in what would be considered a soothing feminine voice, speaking always in Infernal, are phrases like, "Asmodeus loves you. Promotion is in your future. You are loved. You are valuable." And in other places along the fortress, they couldn't shut it off, so they started ripping out speakers, but you don't get that luxury. After a while, it really starts to wear on you. And even though you'll still pray, the voice of Mithra is still just getting drowned out by the 80-second rendition of the all-imp choir singing, "Asmodeus loves us, this I know, because the pact infernal tells us so. By his ruby scepter we obey, and all the demons we will slay." This has been just grinding on you mentally. How would you describe what it's like being in the cell?
Okay. So I think starting off, Ella, of course, would look for all the weaknesses to try and escape from the cell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna guess she probably doesn't find any.
Go ahead and give me an investigation. Let's see how good your search is.
Okay. This is intelligence based, so probably not that probably not that good. I probably should have asked this before we started. Physical dice or
Whichever.
okay.
I like my players to do whatever they're comfortable with.
Okay. It's a 14 total.
Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty secure. It's probably a bit more inconvenient that everything's slightly slanted, but this is a strong, secure cell. They did, of course, take your weapons and things like that away because they're not idiots. But yeah. But no, even if you had your hammer, this would be a hard thing to bust out of.
Okay. So then probably after like a day or two, she'd probably start trying to like block out the noise as much as she can. Like she'd be covering her ears as as often as she can. She would try meditating. After a bit though, I'm sure none of this would continue blocking out any of the sound. So I think at one point she would start kind of like basically having like a blank stare at like the wall, and she'd start trying to like basically like to kind of like drown out the voices. She kind of like start talking to herself a little bit, just so that she had something else to listen to instead, so that she couldn't hear like the like Asmodeus loves you stuff. Like she'd be talking to herself essentially.
What all is she saying?
Probably a lot of you're gonna get through this, you're gonna be okay, like something's gonna happen, you're not gonna be stuck here forever, even if they take you somewhere else, you're gonna get out somehow, you're not just gonna roll over and just play dead, like you can do this, you're fine, you're gonna be okay. Which I think eventually might derange into her having like full on conversations with herself out loud, where she might be like, I wonder what we're going to have for dinner, what they're serving us for dinner tonight. Last night was something like devil steak, and it was absolutely disgusting. Maybe the ale will be better tonight though.
Yes, I like that. And that's going on for what you assume is maybe a week, maybe more. Again, kind of hard to tell time. And then one day you hear another voice in your cell with you. It's broken already, but what's broken might be repaired, maybe built into something more useful. As you look around, you don't see anyone, but you see two shadows on a wall, as if they were being cast from the same location. One is obsidian black, another is silvery. And the shadows seem to be talking to each other, but as if from one or a pair of actors reading from the same script, as in one will begin a thought and the other one will finish it. Its face is already broken. The old snake's going to be coming for it soon. But that is all the more reason to make use of it now. And they begin walking in separate directions around the cell.
I'm sorry, are you guys real? Are you real? Is all I just have to ask. I'm gonna kind of say that just to either of the shadows, see if they respond.
It still has some perception. Maybe it can be made useful after all.
Okay, rude. I'm right here.
It does have a point. And the two shadows finally meet and they begin to merge. And instead of becoming like one solid color, the two begin to sort of swirl together. It never really takes on a solid shape, but it does begin. Basically, it's definitely avian in nature with wings and a beak, but the two colors are just intermingled and swirling like a Rorschach test. Like, are you interested in escape, or are you content to stay where you are? I could use someone on my side, and I think you need someone on your side.
Guess it would depend what being on your side would entail.
Revenge against those who locked you up. Retribution for everyone who's left you behind. The power to never be stuck in such a situation ever again.
Then I might be interested.
And it will, which is weird to say that a shadow reaches out its hand, but even because the shadow just moves along the floor, but when its hand leaves, there is an amulet that is two bird heads that sort of form a yin and a yang, silver and obsidian. Let go of the one who left you behind. Take my power instead. I know what it's like to be left, to be forgotten, to be abandoned. And I know what it's like to want to get what's rightfully yours at the expense of those who've done you wrong.
So Ella would kind of like quietly kind of start muttering to herself. She'd be like, she didn't abandon me. She just can't reach me. Well, if she can't reach you, she can't do anything to help you. Like, what are you supposed to do then? Well, I don't know. Maybe she can help me at some point. Well, that right now you might die. Like, you should probably do something about it.
And when you look up, a black and white Arakorka-like creature is sort of kneeling down, looking you in the eye. If she could have helped you, she would have a long time ago. Join with me, Ella, and we will make sure that you are never left behind again.
Okay, deal.
And as you say that, you hear one last time just the slightest whisper, "No, Ella, please, not this creature." But that is drowned out as this new power fills you up where Mithra's magic once was. Kind of a cold fire replaces all of that as you become the cleric of Corvus. And true to his word, you will not be trapped overly long, because outside, the rest of our party has just finished off the chain devil, not the bearded devil, that they were fighting on what I'm referring to as the battle stage. And you now have a pristine devil rider, and you are parked on the fallen fortress.
Sorry, is that our cue or?
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I assume that was our cue too.
Okay.
So the Devil Rider, that's the like the motorcycle type.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we got a pristine one of those.
Yes.
And then we've got our battle stage.
Yes.
Nice.
Awesome.
And there doesn't seem to be any other defenses around the the fallen fortress. So it's not too hard to find a gap where there's probably a few places where flying creatures would go in and out when it was active. But then again, there's also just where things seem to have either punched through, like artillery has punched through, or maybe something ate its way through.
Have we did we ever search the devil's body or the demon's body? Is it
I don't think we got a
demon,
chance to.
right?
No, this one's a devil.
Devil. Okay.
And he didn't have too much on him since he was kind of, at his base. So you figure he probably just like ran out when the alarm got sounded.
Yeah.
Because I believe most of his armor was sort of a natural armor.
From the motorcycle. Um,
That too.
could we fit the Devil Rider in the back of the battle stage, or is it too big?
Your battle stage will hold about 8 people, so it'd be cramped, but you can make it fit.
Or could I attach it to the back of it?
Might be better to attach it to the back of it, because your battle stage was originally a scavenger. It can definitely hold something like that.
All right. Well, I'm
Cool.
definitely going to start like working on that to get it all
Okay.
to hooked up. Of course, probably I'm not going to be able to do that all by myself. So
It is pretty heavy.
yeah.
If you need help, I'll help.
Yeah, I was
Just
about
ask.
to. I was about to be like, hey, sneaky one, come over here. We got to get this back on the back of the thing, on the thing, the big thing. Put the small thing on the big thing, and then like start dragging it over. Like, I don't know how it runs.
I don't respond. I'm rummaging
like-
around.
I
Just
stop.
looking.
I stop looking and I look at everybody around me because there is literally, what are you, a 6 foot tall bunny?
I no 3'4".
Oh, you're the same height as me.
Oh.
Never
Yeah.
mind.
But at this moment, I imagine I'm still in the tail end of my raging, so daisies and stuff are still sprouting with every foot I take.
So since you're not gonna help me, I'll be like, I'll look at Francis and I'll be like, all right, Francis, come over here. You help me move this back on the thing. And then of course she would come over and try to help as much as she can by like grabbing it with her beak and then like pulling it. I mean, she's an automaton, so she'd have a little bit more strength than me.
If you have her strength, I'll let you roll with that.
Let's see, and get a. Would it be a added? Her strength is 14.
Okay.
This is my strength. Give me 1 second. Oh yeah, hers is higher than mine.
Okay.
So with advantage.
Yes, because you're trying to basically help her.
So just a strength check. I've got. That's a 15. Or yeah, let's go with that 15 instead of that 2.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, she's able to kind of like
it's
pick it
17.
up where it'll roll properly and you can guide her. So you can, with her help, you roll it over
Right.
and you're able to like hook it on to where the crane used to be. You can kind of, just attach it to a way so it holds up. And you'll be able, I won't say that while you're driving go full speed. It might be tricky to just like jump on and take off on it, but it's theoretically it's possible.
I mean, it's at least parts. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
True.
Yeah, it's got about the soul coin in. It'll probably last another 12 hours or so.
And then I'm going to start looking for a way in. I know that you said that it would be hard to find one, but I want to find one that makes sure that our 9 foot. How tall are you?
8.5, 8 works.
Okay, like 8 foot tall hippo friend will be able to get into.
I won't even make you do a check for that because finding the big doorway that the larger devils probably use is literally just finding the giant doorway. That's not a challenge.
All right, and then I'll make sure that I park the
battle
I'm going to
stage.
park our battle stage in such a way for if shit goes downhill, we can jump in and drive the hell off real quick.
Yeah.
What if it goes uphill?
Yeah.
Well, then we're going to be able to drive the hell off downhill. It doesn't matter. I'm going away. Whichever way the shit's coming, I want to go in the opposite direction.
All right. I'm trying to remember the look of the flying fortress. Yeah, I believe that it would be easy for you to have a spot where you can park next to the bigger. It was almost like a dock where people could like fly in and land. So you're able to park next to that, put the parking brake on, make sure it doesn't roll down without you. and it's secure. And if you need it, you can just hop in and undo the parking brake and then hit the gas.
Okay. And then I'm going to suggest what I forget the bard's name. Stevenson. I'm gonna look at Steven and I'm gonna be like, we're gonna go check out the inside and you should probably watch the truck.
That's a good plan there, little man. I'll get right on that. And he takes up a battle stance.
I copy it again.
He looks like basically, the at-rest pose for every Street Fighter game. That's him right now. He's in a constant state of readiness.
So now that we've got that done, I'm going to look at the other two. And then I'm just going to be like, all right, Francis, let's go. And like, nobody else is paying attention to me. So fuck it. I'll go inside the door. They can come with me if they want.
All right.
Well, I rolled a 20. So yeah, I noticed you left and I walked with you. I did literally just roll that.
Nice.
You rolled it just to see if you fun with me. Right. I'll take point, and I'm not gonna take point.
I'm gonna take point. I just pushed past you. Just start walking.
Yeah, because my wisdom is a 10. I forgot my character has like no, which I guess would mean that I would want to take point.
No,
I mean I'm pretty lax on the freaking common sense. Anyway, go ahead. I probably want to hide behind you. So
I'm in the front. I have the most hit points and also have decent perception and stuff.
Okay.
Oh my god, my wisdom is the same as my freaking automaton.
Good team.
The three of you roll a perception as you go in.
Check.
Oh,
You're leaving me in suspense.
15.
12.
And remember, my automaton cannot be surprised. I don't know if you want me to.
No, this was not to find traps. This
Okay.
was just to see how much you're paying attention to various details.
I was
Okay.
going to say it's like everything happens. Your Tom saw this coming. You may roll for initiative.
I will try to keep that in mind. Just remind me when I eventually forget.
Yeah. Did you want me to roll for them as well?
No, this is what
Okay.
you're seeing.
Okay. Yeah.
All right,
so I rolled a 15.
Okay. Berman, did you roll?
I'll gladly join in.
I literally don't know if you're paying attention half the time, so just tell me.
I'm
if you're
on
not.
just telling, just hopping in. That'll be 14 total.
Okay. So as you come into this area, there's a lot of machinery is broken here, and some of it's still sparking. You can see what was a speaker has been ripped out, and yeah, everything's like I said before, Adeline. A lot of it has definitely been scavenged by others for something that might have been useful. There was apparently an alarm at one point because there's still, some red blinking lights. And even though none of you read Infernal, it's still usually the emergency signal is pretty, standard across all languages. And you look around here for a little while. This area is probably not very useful, although you can always try to Robert Lynn. I love trying to remember names around here. You're thinking
Roblin's
that
my brother. He's the rogue.
Yeah. You can probably try to make use of some of these arcane electronics later on.
Okay. That's what I was trying to do. Is I was gonna literally ask you if I could scavenge real quick.
Yeah, well, I won't say real quick. It will be effort to disassemble things, but
we know where it's at.
yes, this place is filled with potentially useful items.
Real quick before we go any further in, I would like to move one of my not attunements. What is it called?
Your infusions.
Yeah, I'm gonna infuse my wrench to give it +1.
Okay.
And then I'm also going to use one of my magical tinkerings to basically make a light, because I can make a 5-foot radius light.
Okay.
So now we have light.
Okay. Oh. So
yeah, I'm just gonna build it.
Yeah.
I'll willy-nilly, because
yeah, you can yank out a couple of quick things and strap together a light real quick.
Yeah.
And that will actually highlight Corvus, who was standing in the corner, like,
ah!
It's Karna.
It's the Colonel.
Oh. Hey, I know you.
I'm beginning to think maybe I overestimated you a lot.
Yep.
Overestimated? You mean underestimated?
Not unless I have a very bad understanding of your language. Then again, maybe you have a bad understanding of your language. The point is, I didn't think you would have so much trouble with red caps.
We won.
And now you're here. And I need you to do something. Go down that hallway and let your new friend out.
Okay.
Friend? New friend? I like new friends. I immediately go.
No questions. He just goes.
All right. All right, Bob.
We're in hell. Someone says, go find a new friend. And he's like, I'm there. Like,
but he's boss.
All right, Bobbin, you can report to the boss. I'm gonna go follow our other friend to find new friend. Okay, friend?
Yes, friend.
Great. And he goes.
So I'll go and I'll head back to the well, they're going to find the new friend. I'll go back to the battle station and with Francis, and we're gonna put her in her section. I'm gonna make sure everything's tied down tight.
Okay. So
cool.
Othello and Berman, you're walking down a hall. This is obviously a brig. Othello, you recognize the brig more than anybody, having come from the military background. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't take you too long to start to hear the imp singing. Ella, this is probably the 87th time you've heard the song.
Oh, this is catchy.
Shut up. I don't. Shut up.
I think we found our new friend.
Ooh. Is there a key? Is the door open? Do we just
make an investigation check?
All right, I'll join in on that.
Investigation is a negative.
That's a 1.
I'm not too much better.
So I imagine I'm joining with my big ears. So I imagine it's 10 times worse with this whole speaker system going on.
Yeah, you just hear these imps going.
I'm humming along. I rolled a 4.
My hero.
You're making it worse.
Okay, Othello, you see a door. There is a barred window in it. That's what you see.
I look through the window. Hello, friend?
Ella
hello?
Hi.
Oh, you're a new
How's
friend,
it going?
Right?
Am I? Sure, I am. Can you get me out of here?
Oh, yes. I try to open the door.
Okay. Are you just like pulling on it, the
Yes.
handle, or?
I'm just pulling on it.
Okay. How strong are you?
Well, technically. Advantage on strength-based abilities checks and saving throws.
So if you
My
want to make a
strength is
strength check,
18.
all right, go ahead and make a strength check.
Oh, that's a 20.
A nat 20.
Yes,
Nice.
nat 20.
Okay, so yeah, that plus it's, I think for you, I'm trying to think of how to express this in my head. There is what would have been a secure door for the gift, and you're getting ready to pull on it as if it were a stuck door for a gift. So you rip it off the hinges, and like, this is very flimsy craftsmanship.
Oh,
Why do I
this is-
I'm just waiting for
Wow.
that. It was a push. Now he made it a pull.
It was a push door.
You know what? Yes, I think that was it, because now that I think about it, that would probably be more secure for making a prisoner back up.
Everyone thinks to pull. No one thinks to push.
So yeah,
You're in hell after all. That's the kind of logic they would use.
But now
Oh.
it's in Othello's hand.
They don't make these like I'm used to.
It's a
Wow.
prison
What are
door,
you-
so it originally
you
it's
used to?
shut like this, like it was a sliding door, and he was just like, now it has hinges.
Yeah, that one's better. It's like a sliding door. I just pull it. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
there you go.
Why did
You're-
it come off?
You're a rather strong friend, aren't you?
Oh, thank you.
I'm also sneaky. I'm a gold hippo person. Just so you know, 8 foot tall, gold skin.
Okay.
And I'm a bleached rabbit, like 3'4". So you may claim insanity now.
I think this might have to be the weirdest thing I've seen in hell so far. But hello.
Hi,
Hello there.
come meet other
Uh,
friend.
Oh, okay, sure. Ella will quickly get up and leave this room and then hopefully never return to it.
She doesn't have her gear, right?
Not yet.
Okay.
But I think I would say that she probably, give me a history check, Ella.
Okay. Where is my character sheet? Pull it up. 15.
Okay, you remember seeing where they were storing things as they hauled you off, so you can easily retrieve your gear when you want to.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of look at them and go, could you guys help me go get my things first before we meet your friend? Would it be better if we meet your friend and then go get them?
Friend,
get your
fine.
stuff.
We help this friend.
Okay. So that I would start heading towards where I know my gear is.
Okay, so you get to the armory, and the door is shut. So my first question is, do you guys want to let Othello try to open it, or does someone else try to open it?
Can I try and is there like a window to this door first? Or-
No, but this one does say in Infernal, it does say armory.
Okay. Can I hear anybody on the other side of the door?
Give a perception check.
I'm kind of glad you asked that because I didn't think of that. I was like, all right, let's open it. There's 17 demons in there. We shut the door.
that is an 11. I was scared that I was a natural 1 and I thought I'd have to roll for my shadow thingy already, but it's fine. It's a 7.
Yeah.
For a total of 11.
With an 11, you put your ear up to the door. It is completely quiet.
Okay.
But you did just spend 2 weeks trying to deafen yourself, so
fair. My hearing might not be the greatest right now.
exactly.
And I'm probably still humming the tune.
It
Hey,
was just really catchy. It was.
For the love of any existing god, stop.
Tall friend. I should
My name's
probably have learned
Othello.
Othello. Hello, Othello. I am Ella.
Hi, Ella.
Hello, bunny, rabbit.
Close enough. I'm Berman.
Nice to meet you, Berman. I am Ella. Othello, can you open this door?
Yes, absolutely. Sure thing. I'll pull it.
Okay, make another check.
Not as good, but do have a. I'll do get advantage.
I was half expecting when he said, "Can you open this
Advantage
door?"
is you roll twice.
Yeah, you roll twice.
I was half expecting when he
count.
said, "Can you open this door?" Sure, and he was just still standing there. Will
First
you?
one was better.
The first one was better. What was it?
15 total.
Plus 15 total. Okay.
Okay. So you try to do the pulling thing again, but this one, it's more secure. It just slides slightly to the side as you're trying to get an angle on it. But from there, you realize, it's
No, I tried again.
Oh.
He's making it
now you can put your hands in
I'll
there
try
and
it
get a grip on
again.
each side.
Gonna peel it like
I-
a fucking can of tuna.
Yes, I put my hand through to get a grip on the door itself since there's a gap now.
Yeah.
19 plus 4.
Okay. So you start, the aforementioned can of tuna, you're peeling it back. Ella Berman, as he's doing that, there's plenty of room for you to just walk right by him, because I feel like what little I know of Othello, he's dedicated. He's going to finish bending this thing back. So you two can just go right on in to the well-lit armory.
I think what makes me laugh the most about this situation is the fact that he's a rogue and has thieves' tools, and yet is determined to open everything by force alone. Like,
I mean, is it force? I'm just opening the door.
I was just checking to see if it was unlocked.
Well, it is now. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Ella would quickly walk in and start trying to figure out where her stuff is.
Okay. The armory is, I'm not going to say completely stocked, but it is very well stocked. So I'm going to say that everybody can, if you wear armor, you can get the maximum mundane armor for yourself, and you can find a +1 weapon. Well, actually, more accurately, Robert Lynn is going to be able to modify everything to make it a +1 weapon once you give him 8 hours, because he has access to a lot of arcane technology and some very nice weapons.
Okay. But for armor, I can get like a new breastplate.
Yes, you can. Well, the breastplate is already, I think, the maximum for heavy armor.
Oh, it's medium.
Oh, okay, medium armor. But you can get new armor.
Shiny. Any explosive gunpowder?
Yes, they probably didn't know exactly what it was, or maybe they just have it stored very carefully because Avernus is hot all the time. But you do find a large keg of gunpowder.
Nice.
I don't know much about you, but I feel like the thought of you with gunpowder is absolutely terrifying. But Ella's not going to argue with you. Ella's not going to argue with the 8-foot tall person that just tuna can't open the fucking door. Like, he can have his gunpowder, but she's going to be a little concerned about it.
I do have a musket on my back as well. That you can see.
Okay, so that makes sense then. I thought you were just using it as like a giant thing of TNT. Like,
maybe.
Well, he probably will.
I mean,
this door will not open. Breaks out the barrel.
He is a GIF, and it literally says that they can use that as a weapon. Like they when they get hurt enough, they just like light it and throw it, and they don't even give a shit.
GIF tend to prefer weapons and gunpowder over money.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Why do I have a feeling there's just going to be a door and there's a trail of gunpowder to a barrel that says thieves' tools?
Oh, Mithra, what did I get myself into?
I'm just making a note for my gift rogue.
Okay.
All right, so I got a keg of gunpowder. Happy.
And while I don't have my list of keg sizes, we're not talking about a small keg. We're talking about a large keg.
So it weighs about how much? Do you worry about weight?
Not for you because I mean, again, one, no, I'm not too worried about weight. Secondly, you're a 9-foot hippo. No, I'm not worried about your carrying weight.
Yeah,
you can literally carry the party. I mean, most of them are small, so
true.
You can almost carry the ride.
Oh, I'm imagining, because we've been playing so much Halo together, I'm imagining you walking over like the way it was in Combat Evolved with the tank.
Yeah.
If the tank got flipped, Master Chief just went fook, and it flipped right back over.
And considering that this thing can flip over, we might see that scene.
Nice.
He gets advantage on the strength check, so I mean, technically, that's exactly what it would be.
All right. But for now, like I said, I kind of spoiled the fact that Robert Lynn can modify all your gear. I think he was going to figure that out anyway. You do find that the 8th Legion, who has been using this as their base, they have been stockpiling weapons and armor. So if you want to take your original, but if you want to say, oh, this looks more sturdy, take the more sturdy one.
So better daggers, maybe? I do have daggers. I haven't used them, but I have them.
I think that you probably find daggers small enough that you can stick them inside your musket and shoot those out.
It's a scary thought. Moving on.
Did no one else think about him just like, I'm literally Tom and Jerry this whole thing. He just walked into the kitchen cabinet.
It's one of those things where I know my influence, and I know when I say stuff, some things they find their ways in the universe, so I just keep my mouth shut for a change.
I don't think I'm that crazy.
Let it flow through me.
Oh, fudge. Yeah. I know
Othello's not that crazy to put knives in his musket. Unfortunately.
I mean, you just wait. I get a feeling we're just getting started with today's adventure.
You guys would have to come back and tell me, because I still don't know anything that's going on.
Yeah, we're not on the clock just yet, so that you guys can role play this out however you like.
Oh, I imagine just Berman is just seeing the treasure trove of weaponry. I imagine he's just like sizing everything up. He's like, this one's too big, this one's too small. It's like almost like just like the speed of a bunny just going through everything.
Picking stuff up and throwing it behind you.
Oh yeah, like he has a he already has a no pile, a maybe pile, and definitely maybe pile.
Ella wants some comfort, so she just take her original stuff. Why am I yawning? She just take her original stuff.
I'll probably start tidying up all the piles that Berman has made.
Fitting.
Oh, and Ella, feel free to just describe those things that you just sent me, because obviously I don't always have time to stop and read in the middle of a game like this.
Okay.
So, but if you want to describe it, or if you want me to kind of bring it up at the appropriate times, let me know.
Okay.
You are not exactly with the most discerning group at the moment, so I feel like maybe they haven't seen. After all, there is the bunny who's making a pile of weapons.
Okay.
3 piles of weapons.
Yes.
That are slowly becoming one.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they're like perceptive, then I'd say if they're like any of them are perceptive, I'd say they might notice it. But if not, then
you've already met these two, so
I'm probably the most perceptive, possibly.
Okay, then I'll let you go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh, nat 20.
Oh. Ella, please tell him what he sees.
Okay. So while Ella's kind of like basically looking through the through the armory, you notice that her shadow is quite visible in here. There's really no sun in here, so it's interesting that it's well lit. It's like you're able to see it. But I think the probably more interesting thing is when it sees that you notice it, it looks at you and starts basically like almost praying, like pleading, and like basically hitting like whatever it's like on, almost like screaming for help.
So you're Peter Pan.
Peter
I
Pan,
think that
but much
occasionally the
worse.
shadow reaches down and tries pulling on his own legs.
Mhm.
I don't trust magic. I back away. I'm like, ah.
What's wrong? The second Ella like
Bitch.
stops paying attention, the shadow goes back to normal. Like the shadow, it's kind of like acts of its own accord, but it's no longer like screaming for help.
Yeah, the second she turns to look at you, it just pops right back to where a shadow should be. Maybe a little bit more visible than your shadow, but
What's wrong, Othello?
Your shadow needs help. You need to help your shadow. It's stuck.
I think my shadow's fine. Sometimes it moves, but it usually moves with me. I think my shadow's fine.
But I saw.
You okay, buddy?
I feel like this is about the time a mallet goes flying by.
No.
Hey, watch where you throw it.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, I got this new breastplate. You want to help me put it on?
Okay.
Robert, you are free to come check in on your friends because I imagine that there has been plenty of noise to guide you. Mostly, we can't hear you.
No, I was thinking about if I wanted to check if she was lying or not, but decided not to.
I was just shouting that I could see her shadow moving behind her because somebody was moving behind her and she has a blur. Anyway,
that worked out very well.
So I would go back and check. I would of course leave. Yeah, I would leave.
It's been a
Francis
while.
back with the rest. And then I would come in to check because it's been quite a while, and I probably would have forgot why I was there. So I come back.
The sound of banging weapons will draw your attention.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go towards the banging weapons, and I'll pop my head in, and I'm gonna be like, what's going on?
We found weapons. Her shadow moves. I don't trust it.
Hi, you must be their other friend that they had mentioned.
Hi, I'm Robert. I build things. I got a chicken. We got a car. Well, I guess it wouldn't be called a car. We got wheels outside. If you want to come, look at it, we got that. But wait, you found weapons?
And then you see the giant pile that is slowly growing.
Okay. First
and
of all,
I shove a musket in my musket in his face. Like, you make better.
Whoa. I think I could. I can make everything better. I can make so many things better. There's so much stuff around here.
Me first.
So I'm going to go ahead and get my smithing tools out because I have like 500 different toolkits, and I'm going to go ahead and try to make him increase the value of his make it a +1.
So this is where Corvus will tell you that you guys don't really have unlimited time here. I give them, trying to convert this into mortal time frames, less than 48 hours before the Legion comes back here. So use your time wisely and decide what you want to do with it.
Okay, well, first,
hello, Corvus.
Hello.
Hey, boss.
Hi.
Yeah, where did you come from? You weren't here? You told us to go in here, and now you're here. Like, what did this?
Don't really worry about that. It's complicated, and I don't want to strain your meat thinking organ.
brain.
Yeah, that.
Oh.
Thinking.
I forget how anatomy works on you people.
So
I just know if I poke
40
some of them, you quit working.
How long would it take to make these into +1 weapon for each person?
For each person, and this will include Stephen, basically giving him, amplifying that mandolin. So it's a +1 caster for him. I'll say that's going to take you 8 hours. And since you've already been up for several, this is going to wrap up your day.
Okay.
But that I'll let you do without making any checks.
Okay. I definitely would want to do that. And I know exactly which weapon I would want to have for a +1. So
okay. Do you want to describe how you trick everybody's weapons out?
Well, for his gun, let's see. What would make it +1 to attack?
Add a sight to it.
Laser sight. It has a laser sight, the pointer on it now. And what's funny is it's like bulbous,
Yeah, I'm imagining a shotgun with laser mounts on it.
That is my favorite thing in first-person shooters. You just add a laser pointer to increase his accuracy.
Yeah,
I'm sure it does.
It does in real life if you take the time to actually sight
Make sure it's pointing on something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
there's shotguns in real life, and then there's the blunderbuss in a game.
Yeah.
Which is like 5 foot range, 20 foot wide.
So yeah, I think he would have a laser sight on his. I really do think that would be hilarious somehow to put a laser sight, because a real sight wouldn't work on a musket. So laser sight at least gives
this is Boblin the Goblin. Does it need to make sense?
No. Trying to think, because I know exactly. Okay, so in Sea of Thieves, when you unlock the Legends weapons, the Legends weapons have gold chains wrapped around them, and they have so basically instead of him having just a common one, it's now filigree, and it has not gold stuff all attached around the outside of it.
Shiny, matches me,
but it's welded on.
And you know what? Because these are chain devils and chains are their motif, there literally are chains all over, and yet some of them would be made of gold. Mm-hmm. Because gold doesn't matter much to a devil. That's currency they use for dealing with mortals. They've stockpiled some of that too.
Yeah, so, I'll go ahead and put that in there.
Yeah.
Cool.
For Berman, what would you want?
Axe.
An axe?
Great axe, to be more specific.
Okay. So for his great axe. For his great axe.
Except if you put a laser pointer on it.
For his great axe, I'm gonna dull it and make it into a hammer. I would take it and again, gold filigree all the way down the sides of it. Chains wrapped around it on the ends. Think Chaos Blades from God of War.
Yeah, on same wavelength. Thank you.
But it's a giant axe.
Yeah,
and it's wrapped all the way up around his arms and stuff.
Yeah,
the chain just hangs off, and it's spiked chain. It's got giant, it's like an axe, okay, and then it's got massive spikes coming off the top of it like a mohawk.
Oh yeah,
and then the very back, it's got just a giant spike.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, that sounds like it's a lot more than a +1, though.
I mean, if I knew how to give everybody something special, I would, because for him, that would definitely be a whirlwind attack with it.
I was going to say it could just be an axe of returning, but if it's a battle axe, he can't really throw it.
We're talking about the barbarian bunny rabbit.
That's a good point.
One of my things I can get in my wild surges of a rage is my weapon has now a thrown property.
Okay, that might really come in handy.
It is possible for me to get.
You are thinking ahead, and you don't even know why.
It is for my great axe to become a throwable weapon.
For the special weapon or special magical item for Elvis, for Steven, I would totally take that and make it into an electric guitar.
Okay. Yeah, you take one of those broken down speakers and you pop it into it.
I would also like to take the parts to make me one as well.
Okay.
And then for mine, I'm going to take a crossbow and like trick it out so that it has basically it's a rapid loading crossbow. Instead of having to fire it normally, it would load in. It's like you don't even have to put ammo in it. It just creates a bow.
Okay.
Creates an arrow. It's actually something that I can build as a artificer. And that's really all I need is just a +1 crossbow that doesn't need to be reloaded. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then for what would Ella want?
Ella would probably want her mace.
Okay.
To be like upgraded in some way, I guess.
All right. I would. So is it just ball with points, or is it one of those that's got like ridges, like 4 or 5 ridges on it and hollow in the center?
Just ball with points.
Okay. So each point would definitely be gold. It would be super fucking shiny, like silver ball, gold points on them, that are so sharp that if you were to like touch your finger to it, it would immediately prick your finger. And like you could check your diabetes with it. That's how good the prick is. And wrapped with, again, since we've got all the chains, wrapped in gold. All this stuff's wrapped in golden chains, by the way. Golden spiked chains that are wrapped all the way down the handle or down the staff until it hits the handle, and then the handle would have like the nice leather grip to it, with, of course, a giant spike out the bottom, because why not? Well, you just gotta add the giant spike to everything. So, except for the gun.
The extra 1 point of damage is from blinding them when I hit them.
Yes.
You hit them so hard they see stars.
And then the stars are light is reflected and it blinds them.
Yeah. So
okay. So I won't say you guys have to go to sleep right now, but that's going to be all of the major work that can be done today. But if there's anything you guys want to do with the, say, hour or two you have before you do have to give in to sleep, because you've been driving all day or listening to show tunes all day.
Ella would like to go destroy the speaker with her mace.
I'm going to give you that, but go ahead and give me a strength check just to see how effective you are.
All right, a strength check. That is a 16 total.
You smashed the ever-living crap out of that thing.
Kind of gets out some anger on that.
I imagine that you are searching the rest of the fortress for any other functioning speakers.
Yeah. If Ella hears Othello humming it, hold on one second.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah. So she'll be back in just a second. So what are the rest of you guys up to?
I am currently going and trying to set up my spells because I need to get my short rest. Because here's the reason why I wanted to create so all of my spells come from doing something. Like, I don't just cast the spell. I have to have created something. Like healing is basically making a salve or a potion. So I'm trying to see if my character can do Thunder Wave. And so the way I would do that is I would crank the guitar all the way up and just go whang one time on it, like in Back to
in
the
my
Future.
mind, you're just like setting out this little 1-inch square speaker, but then it lets out this enormous boom.
Yeah.
Because like the speakers in here were like most military installations, probably the cheapest thing ever, but just good enough to function. But you just hardwired it into something much more powerful.
Ooh, here we go. Oh, that's a cantrip. I can't change my cantrips out. Although, no, I can't change my cantrips out.
I'll let you do it on a long rest because, again, I don't feel like that. In fact, I think artificers get the option at some point to change theirs out.
It's when we get a new one. We can actually change out one of our old ones.
Okay.
But I really like lightning lure, and I need mending for all of my my little automatons. So really, here it is. Well, that's thunderclap. Dang it! I was looking for. I guess I don't get Thunderwave. Huh.
Shame.
Oh well.
Same.
That stinks. That's one that makes sense to have in my opinion. Oh well. Yeah, I think I'm good. I'm
okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
No problem. You were getting ready to threaten Othello?
Not well, maybe threaten. Basically, if Othello is still humming it, Ella will just kind of look over and go, "Could you please stop humming that?"
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's fine. I've just been listening to that about 500 times a day for the past month. So it's kind of been hell. If we're in hell, of course, but it's been hell on top of hell.
Othello's visibly confused by that statement.
It's been really bad. So I don't like the song anymore.
Okay, I'll stop. I'm sorry.
It is okay. Thank you. And then Ella would continue on her quest to smash any more speakers that are still working.
I'll just say, give me a perception to see if you find any more.
I was just waiting for just Ella's like, hey, buddy, I greatly appreciate it.
Hey, buddy, kindly shut up. 11 total.
Okay. You find maybe one or two in this area, but that's about it. This was one of their more used areas, so they got rid of those speakers a while back.
Okay. I'm hoping no one goes with Ella, because if anyone does go with Ella, then they would notice Ella is casually talking to herself, because that is something she would probably be doing by now because she was talking to herself for so long. So Othello's already freaked out by her.
Just a tiny bit.
This is saying you're dealing with a bunny here.
That is fair. That is fair. Berman might notice Ella
Berman,
just
give
talking
me
to her.
a check, please. With those ears, I feel like it should be with advantage.
Hey, give me a moment. Even that, it's the best was even a 9. So I imagine he'll just see like he'll start hearing the start of the conversation. Then he goes back to like his new axe and shield and breastplate. It's like,
so I think he's just looking for things to smash.
Yeah.
I'm just loading the gunpowder that I now have onto the war machine that we have.
Okay.
And polishing my shiny musket.
Why is the barrel in my chair? Move it further to the side.
There's no room.
Okay. I changed some of my I prepared some different spells for this. Oh, we gotta do that one for this one. This is gonna be fun. All right. I prepared some different spells for this next time.
Okay. Well, if you guys are done for the day, you can go ahead and take your long rest.
All right.
So, all the spells will come into effect.
Yep. So we'll go ahead and click that on here.
Okay. So when you guys do wake up the next day, have whatever disgusting meal you do, because food here always tastes horrible. And do any of you remember why you actually came to the fortress?
Oh, no, not at
all. We came to get the piece of Zariel's broken sword.
Yes.
Is that right?
That is correct.
It's a shard of the broken sword. Yeah, the second that we wake up, I would literally look at everybody and I'd be like, all right, we have to find that broken sword because that's the only way we're going to get Mad Maggie. Is that her name?
Yes, that's her name.
Yeah. Mad Maggie's only going to care about like if we bring her that stuff, which then gives me access to the piles to make awesome stuff for the vehicle, which then makes the vehicle more awesome. So we can take down more demons and devils so we can get more awesome vehicle parts so that we can make the awesome vehicle more awesome. And then we can go get more demon and devil parts. You see where I'm going with this? It starts with this thing.
Yeah, it starts with the literal change in events. We get it.
Can you describe the sword piece that you're looking for a bit more to me?
It's a piece of a sword
and it's broken.
Is there a chance I could have possibly already seen it?
So I don't.
I will say, give me an investigation check, Othello.
Sorry, we never saw it.
-1.
Okay, no, that's fair.
Okay, so 16 minus 1.
Yeah.
All right, 15. I will say that while everything else was being put together, you could have been looking around. You did find a secured room inside of the armory. Like before, you were able to like slide open the door and then peel it back. With this one, you couldn't quite get that grip to peel it back.
I imagine they're discussing. I get distracted by this door that I noticed. And I just walk over there and try to open it.
Okay.
I'm guessing I can't just pull it open.
Well, I mean, give me a strength check, but like, just tapping on it didn't work.
How many 20s am I going to roll?
God.
I want somebody to go over there and check his dice. Okay.
I can roll it again if you want.
No, I'm not going to call that. It's how do you open the door?
I walk up to it.
It's a push door this time.
I noticed the past few doors, they were a little resistant when I pulled on them. So this time I just shoulder charge it.
Okay. With a 20, the door doesn't go flying off the hinges so much as the door kind of wraps around you as you run through the room. And you don't stop until you
thundering steps, just full force. Everyone hears the loud crunch of the metal.
Mm-hmm. And you don't stop until you put an Othello-shaped dent in the next wall. These were walls that were meant to sustain battle, and you're just charging through them, apparently.
Does he do that a lot?
He does a lot of things like this a lot.
Okay.
He's supposedly sneaky.
I haven't seen the sneakiness yet. He said the same thing to me.
He can be quiet. I mean, I don't know how, but he can be quiet. Why he's not today.
When you pull yourself out of the dent, you see that this is where they kept the real valuables. Ella, what were you going to say?
I was going to say for Robert, he might have noticed since like over the course of like the day that we've had together, he also may have noticed my shadow, how like it will act differently for me sometimes, but also if I'm not paying attention, he will like the shadow will start like asking for help essentially. So over the day, I figured he may have noticed.
I will check that. Because you are giving me way too much.
Fair.
Yeah, take all your expectations of what everybody is paying attention to and apply it to the actual people.
Oh, if we were allowed to change our armor out, I do want to know. make note that I would have changed out to a breastplate also,
Sure.
just to get that disadvantage from stealth away.
Yeah, that's totally doable.
Let's see, because I always envisioned him wearing it. So, did you want me to do a perception, investigation, or insight? Which one would you?
Which one do you feel is most applicable? Because like you might see something out of the corner of your eye.
It would have definitely. Yeah, we'll go with perception. Okay. I got a 13.
All right. After several hours, you probably start picking up that occasionally it does something different.
And then I say for Berman, we give Berman a week, and then maybe Berman will notice.
He's been busy.
Berman's from the Feywild. I don't know if he notices anything unusual about the rest of you.
We are unusual to him.
Fair enough.
He has technically been in this world for 1,000 years. So it's just like,
considering most of that 1,000 years passed through by walking through a door, I don't know if you can really count that.
Yeah, so it's like, technically he's not that old. Yeah. But through our universe, he's just like, Berman was born in 1706. It is now 22,800.
That is technically true.
I would look at Ella when I finally noticed it, and I would have been like, does your shadow always do that?
Do what? And as the same thing it did with Othello, it kind of goes back to acting normal once Ella is like now paying attention to this.
The shadow be like,
yeah.
I want to roll an insight check to see if she knows.
Okay.
Like if she really does or doesn't. That is a 15 total.
Okay. Ella, how do you interpret that? Because this is your shadow.
So I would say usually Ella, when people would say, like, if people would mention it, she would just brush it off as a joke because she knows her shadow does things different from her. Like she's always known that. But usually when people are like, "Oh, your shadow's acting really weird," she just laughs it off. She's just like, "Oh yeah, like no, that it always does that. Like that's perfectly normal." So that's basically how she would react. The same way she'd be like, "What do you mean? It always does weird things."
Well, it's unsettling. So and that's coming from a guy that goes with that thing. And I point at Berman. I've hung out with him for about a week, maybe a month. I don't know. But your shadow's a little weirder than that.
Imagine at this moment, like now Berman like notices what's going on. He will like use his magical awareness towards that shadow to see if he can know more about it.
Sure. I don't know what you would roll for that, so you tell me.
It just says, as an action, you can open your awareness to the presence of concentrated magic and then this word on comments is till an end of your next turn. You know the location of any spell or magic item within 30 feet. So it just where it's like I'm just trying to like understand the school of magic of the shadow.
Okay. Ellie, you know probably a little bit more about this one than I do. And I know this one falls under sort of a gray area, no puns intended. How do you feel that is your shadow independently magical?
I'd say I'm reading over it and it doesn't say.
Yeah, I didn't think it did.
And let's just do your interpretation.
Yeah.
My interpretation is it is is there a school of like animation I'm trying to think of? Like, is there
transmutation covers that?
Transmutation.
Okay, so I think the shadow would fall under a magic something under the school of transmutation, based on like the description of how the shadow works.
That feels right.
Is that an answer for Berman?
Yeah.
Or okay?
So I imagine that you just see Berman just like kind of scratch his chin. It's like it's simple. It's simple, ladies and gentlemen. the ways of the magical ways of her shadow are the one of ways of transmutation. So it kind of lives independently, but also work in conjunction along with her. It's weird, mubbity jubbity gibbity bitty bitty.
I love how he went from an actual arcane explanation to in one sentence. That's like a professor is like, yes, we are here today to talk about quantum physics, which is the science of strings and stuff.
Yeah, because it's to the moment like he was gonna go for an explanation. Is like, wait, I know my aunt's you.
Exactly.
So that was him just like dipping and mentally just saying like it is transmutation magic, and it starts. I better stop.
But the confidence never wavered, and I appreciate that.
Elle would just kind of give a shrug and go, yeah, he doesn't usually do anything bad. He just kind of vibes. If he pulls out a knife on one of your shadows, it's fine. He does that sometimes. It's just he's just playing around, I'm sure. He's never hurt one of them so far.
Yeah, I will admit it's not the first time I've seen this, but the first of this kind, I'll definitely admit. But thank you for the heads up.
I just like looking at Othello's camera and just seeing him go and like eyes get wider and wider as I continue describing. I can just imagine him in the other room, like now that he's like out of the wall, he's just like listening. He's just like, what? To
answer your question, because I'm recording, it's a little bit harder for me to type back in. If Othello is cool with it, it could be a vicious blunderbuss instead.
A vicious musket.
Yeah, because I don't know. I'm guessing that's in the same power level.
Kind of. Okay. It's blue instead of green. So okay,
that would be a little too much then.
Okay, because the thing is, the difference between a +1 and then a vicious is if you roll a nat 20 when you hit, it does 7 extra damage. But other than that, it doesn't normally do extra damage.
Okay, so in that case, I'll say it's up to Othello. You can have the constant +1, or you can have one that does
critical hits.
Yeah.
I'll just do the damage.
Okay.
It's normal +1.
Okay.
Just a normal okay.
Because that's a +1 to your attack and your damage.
Yeah.
That is true.
Okay. So speaking of Othello, you're prying yourself out of the dent you made in the wall. Mm-hmm. And you see that they have several chests in here. So this is where they kept the really valuable stuff, like the things that they prize slightly more than weapons.
Okay. I take out my thieves' tools and try to open the chest.
Okay. Just make me a real quick sleight of hand check for that.
Oh God, he's doing the rogue thing when none of us are watching. So we're just gonna be like, "How did you?" We're gonna be like, "How did you get it open?"
16.
16. Yeah, these are not overly complicated locks. So you pop them open. One of them has soul coins in it. A lot of soul coins. I'm going to say that like the 3 chests probably have soul coins in them. The last chest, the largest one, it has the shards of Zariel's sword.
So I walk out of the room very disappointed. There's nothing useful in there. Just some gold scraps and some broken pieces of metal.
Weren't you guys looking for something that's broken pieces of metal?
We are always looking for broken metal. Look at our goblin.
I like metal.
I imagine Corvus is just off in the background.
I really wish that we had Steven here, because I'm pretty sure he would tell you can't always get what you want.
But little mama, sometimes if you try real hard, you can get what you need. I'm so glad he picked one character I can reasonably do an impression of.
Oh, that's great. Anyway, so you were able to get into the room. Sorry, I've been trying to update stuff and make sure that I can figure out everybody's magical weapons. I did so much work.
You heard me get into the room.
Okay.
Yes, he literally ran through the door.
Yeah,
I knew you got into the room, but I thought you were actually thieves tooling something. Sorry.
Yeah, there were some chests in there.
Oh, chest Tuesday.
It's nothing I care about.
Ella would go into the room.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in that room and I'm gonna look and see what he doesn't care about.
For no reason in particular, Ella feels like there are some things in this room that could be useful that Othello just might not notice yet.
Out of sheer curiosity, does
I
your
noticed,
shadow do
didn't
this
care.
to a Berman on the way out?
I'd say he doesn't really do that. You'd see He looks at you and pulls out basically it looks like Othello's musket now. He pulls out a knife that starts like shaping into a musket and kind of points it at you, and then kind of as in a threatening stance, and then puts it back away.
I imagine then Berman will mimic a bird and like shadow puppets. Like, that's cute.
It shoots the bird.
I see feathers in my shadows. Like, I like this guy.
Because
I want this scene to be animated one day.
Under the description, it says sometimes it appears to be undertaking random but mundane tasks, while at other times it acts out your darker impulses, threatening or even attacking other shadows.
I like to see this adventures of Berman and Ella's shadow.
Ella's just there as a background character.
Literally a background character.
Yeah.
It's their entire scenes going on in the background. There'd be like full on fights, and just Berman's like, "Hey, everybody, how's it going?" And then he's just like,
The shadow just sits down and opens up a beer.
Yeah, me too, man. He's from the Feywild. He feels more the weirder the better.
So those of you who went into the room, you find several smaller chests stacked with soul coins.
Oh.
And then you find a larger chest that has been slotted. It's been fixed up in such a way so that all the shards of Zariel's sword are secured inside.
All of them?
All 4. The blade is broken into 3 pieces, and then the hilt is also there with another bit sticking out of it.
We thought there was only going to be one piece here, right? Like she said that there was going to be one shard here.
Well,
we got all 4.
I forget.
I'm okay. I'm okay with taking all 4. I didn't know we were going to be getting all 4. I will see it, and I will be like, I think we just got a new ride.
God, and I
almost imagine Baldwin's like, hang on, let me look at the script.
I almost took mending too, but I took a different cantrip. Damn it.
Oh, that's a good point. Thank you. I'm going to cast mending on the sword.
Perfect.
Nothing happens.
Because
this thing is not just cracked, it is sundered.
Okay.
It's worth a try.
This is a moment where Corvus, who never really left you, is kind of standing there. Yeah, it's going to take someone actually reforging the sword to make it useful again. And I don't think that I don't think a mortal is going to be able to handle it. Now, if you maybe get like a really talented forge cleric who can channel his god, and even then you're really going to need another sort of divine spark to make it what it once was.
So there's no way to repair it down here in hell?
I didn't say that.
All right, then here's the part where you say, you know, a guy.
Sadly, I actually do know a guy.
See, I know the drill here. So who's the guy or girl? I don't judge.
Bell.
Bell?
Okay, this is one of those things where I don't know your gap in knowledge. Do you know who that is?
No.
No.
Oh,
Well, I know I've met many Bells, but I'm pretty sure they're not the same person.
Okay. Bell, Pit Fiend, used to run this whole place until Zariel basically got the job over him and got him demoted to second place.
Oh.
Yeah, I definitely not the same person. You go on.
Thank you.
Ball. See, I knew it as Ball.
Ah.
That's how
It's spelled Bel, and I've always heard it pronounced Bell. So
okay.
Yeah, he is kind of okay. This is a little bit of going through the grapevine, but when she broke this sword, she ordered him to make her a new sword. He hates her. That's just common knowledge. Now he can't make a divine weapon, but his forge is the best one in Avernus and can generate enough heat to start the process of reforging that one. And he will probably good chance that he would let you use it if there's even a chance at unseating her. It's a politics thing. He's got to play the part of obeying, but there's a lot of loopholes in there, and he's kind of good at playing around with those.
All right. Before I say anything, I want to look at the chests of soul coins and try to just figure out in my brain how many there are.
Sure. Just make that an investigation check.
Oh, great. 20.
Okay. I was going to say this normally wouldn't be hard, but you were trying to estimate, with just your brain. Yeah, you calculate it as it's at least 60, probably maybe a little bit more than that. Just to make things easier, it's 63 soul coins.
I'm going to give. So Corvus is still there with us, right?
Yes. For the most part, assume he's always nearby in case you need him. But if you call and he doesn't appear, yeah, it's probably because he's doing something. But for the most part, assume he's there to answer questions.
And we owe him 100, right?
Yes. And if you're going to start offering him some, he's going to say, I need you alive right now. Those can double as healing items for you. And you are pissing off the 8th Legion.
Okay. I was thinking
hang on to them until after you decide what you're going to do. You can pay me later, but if you die, I have to go get more minions.
My thing was
associates.
This is just out of character. I was thinking of giving him 33 of them, keeping 30 of them for us for the stuff we need. That pays, because we already paid him 1. So that pays him 1/3 of what we needed.
Yeah.
And then keeping the other 30 for fuel and whatnot.
That's not a bad idea. I would say you're more than welcome to do that, but just make sure you may not, because like I said, they're fuel, but they're also healing. So decide what you're going to do before you pay them off.
I'm just thinking about it because, and this is my thought process was to give him 1/3 of them and be like, basically, hey, here's some money. Can I talk to my friends alone right now so that we can determine what we were going to do?
Yeah, if you don't want me around, I'll just leave.
It's not that we don't want you around.
Let me rephrase that. Geez, you guys are touchy.
If you want our souls.
If you want to talk in private, I will let you. I have been trying to stick around because occasionally you need a little bit of guidance.
Mhm.
You need a lot of guidance. You need someone to hold you by the hand and walk you through most of this, to be quite frank, looking at Othello when he says that. But I will
I don't
leave the
hold hands.
room and deal with some other things. You guys talk. It's
That
not
works.
like you're going to, there's any incentive for you to betray me or vice versa. So I'm going to leave. And he vanishes.
It'd be kind of hard for me to betray him since I am following him.
Okay, now that he's gone, we have we've got a branch right here. Which way are we going to do this? Do we want to go give all these parts back? Because if we give them to her, if we give them to Mad Maggie, she's just going to put them on a shelf. But if we take them to Belle, we can maybe have a really awesome sword. And that could help us kill the freaking Lich.
I like swords.
It could also help us. But then we got to help him. And that's just another person that we have to help down here.
Do
I
you
don't know if I
know-
really want to help all these
Oh,
people.
sorry. Andy forgot one thing in the notes because Andy is not that bright.
Okay.
There was also a chest with 9 adamantine rods in them.
Those are mine.
I imagine you don't even break conversation. You're just off camera, just grabbing them and just
Yes.
conversation.
I've got a bag of holding, so I'm literally just shoving them in the bag of holding while having this conversation with everybody. Just like
You can
Not
smell
even-
them.
not even looking at them as I'm throwing them in the bag of holding. Like,
This Mad Maggie friend of yours, does she know what the sword looks like? Do you know?
oh, I'm not fucking with her. If she thinks, like, if we were trying to like double cross her, take her a random sword, and she figured it out, we'd all be fucking dead. So
Yeah, I'm plus I'm pretty sure would not put it past her. She would know a replica between original.
exactly. She has Zariel's like, is it elephant? I can't remember.
Elephant is the
Elephant.
actual term.
Yeah.
but-
Okay, she has her elephant, and
No, sorry, Hollyphant.
holy,
Oh,
It's been a while. I can't remember the name.
I'll still call it a elephant.
Yeah.
We still have all of her stuff, and she like is obsessed with this Zariel, so I'm not gonna try that. Yeah.
So then, by that logic, maybe we shouldn't try and not bring it back to her. I feel like maybe we should still give her the pieces, even though we could have a very cool sword. I feel like if we don't give her the pieces, could she get angry about that? Well, this is more of a you guys problem. I just showed up, but
I was mainly asking them.
okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
But
we do appreciate your input, Eleven.
I
Thank
do.
you.
I just I have a new plan. We're gonna go directly to Bell, and we're gonna see if he can forge a new sword out of something else before we let him know we have the parts of this sword.
Okay.
Um,
You have an idea? You have an idea what the sword would be? Because I don't want to just make a plan on the way to go. Because I've been to a party like that before, and then it could work out well.
what do you mean? Like, it just needs to be a sword that can slay a demon and a lich, but mostly a demon. Not really just a lich, but we need better armaments if we're going to go up against a lich.
Okay.
And if we're going to go and get better armaments, we might as well, off an archdevil too. I don't know. Like, I feel like if you're gonna go big, you might as well, if you're gonna go for like the gold, you might as well go for the platinum as well. Like, there's no point in just getting gold.
Exactly. I want a sword.
You have a gun.
But I need something for up close. Daggers are so small.
Why don't you just hit them with the gun?
It does have spikes on it now.
I'm gonna literally give him a sword. Like, I'm gonna walk in the other room, grab a sword, and hand it to him.
We're talking about short, long, great.
There literally is just a pile, and you can find whichever one.
I'm gonna get all three, and I'm gonna walk back, and I'm gonna go pick one.
But they're so weak and flimsy. I pick one up and I like bend it.
I take the sword and bend it back. Stop doing that. Get it.
I try, but all I'm saying is if we tried to do this and got a better sword, something that could take out Zariel, if it could take out an archdevil, it could definitely take out a lich. I mean, it's hell. We don't have to do anything that we promise anyone.
Yes, we do.
We're gonna be here for eternity.
And we need friends.
It might take a while.
But we promised.
Technically, we don't have to, but morally, I feel like we might want to follow through with it.
Yeah, because we at least want a good repertoire. Because needless to say, we're not in familiar terms with anyone other than Colonel.
We could get sword and use it and then give to Maggie.
I thought that through. I think Maggie would be very upset if we fixed it first.
But what? Why?
She likes the story.
That is a good story.
If we go and fix the sword, the story's not there anymore. Now the story is we're the heroes that fix the sword.
What if we break it after?
Is it wrong that I kind of want to see Othello do that? Yay, we saved the day. We're just there with like hammers and just like, quick, break it.
So, if we get the sword reforged, it would no longer be the sword of Zariel, because
this is that dilemma.
What would be the equivalent of the ship of Theseus?
Right.
In D&D.
Right.
I know what you're going for with this.
I know what I'm going for too. I just don't want to say the ship of Theseus because I know that.
I don't feel like that's sort of a philosophy term. So you know, I would say you could replace that name with any other famous ship. But we're also talking about beings from potentially different planes of reality.
That's a good point. Point is, if you take apart something and you build it into something else, it's no longer that thing it was originally. So if we take this and have it reforged with a new ability, it would not be Zariel's sword. And then Mad Maggie wouldn't want it.
Yeah. And knowing the collector she is, she does enjoy authenticity.
She would be very mad. Like, she would stop being Mad Maggie, and I think she'd be Furious Maggie.
Absolutely Furious Maggie. Trust me, you don't want to deal with a collector who's been screwed over in a deal.
Furious Frida. Yeah, she'd be Frida. She didn't even change her name. Because the rhyming motif would be gone.
Yeah, or Killer Karen. It doesn't know.
Then she'd be mad that she had to change her name. So what would that be if it's not Furious anymore?
Killer Karen.
Othello's thinking as hard as he possibly can right now.
Question for the voice of the world while they're discussing this.
Yes.
Could Ella during this time basically sit down and start ritually casting augury?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she
problem.
would like to do that.
Okay. Remind
Thank
me what augury does.
Okay. By casting, by using basically some form of like throwing like bones, tarot cards, things like that. Some sort of like divining tool. You receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the results of a specific course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. The DM chooses from the following possible omens: wheel for good results, woe for bad results, wheel and woe for both good and bad results, or nothing for results that aren't especially good or bad. The spell doesn't take into account any possible circumstances that might change the outcome, such as the casting of additional spells or the loss of or gain of a companion, and etc.
This is actually why I left Corvus available to you, because it was easier to just talk directly to him. But yes, if you want to cast that, what is it? Which direction? Like, I think you need to pick one of the two. Which one are you casting it for? Fixing or not fixing?
Actually, it was more so going to be not giving it to Mad Maggie in its current form.
Okay.
I would like an omen about that. And since I am ritually casting it, so it would take a few minutes.
Okay. Yeah. So let me think here.
And she could be doing that while we were having the conversation we were having.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Mainly because I don't want to role play right now. My throat is starting to hurt.
Yeah, I had a very different idea where this session would go, and then you guys, of course, are being great role players, and
you gave me a ball. I ran
only
with
the
it.
best.
Yeah, I would say not bringing that.
I had an idea along those
Probably
lines.
nothing. It's
okay. So it wouldn't be like super good or super bad. Okay.
Yes, that's a correct assessment.
Okay.
We're in hell. Wouldn't it always be bad?
I'm trying to think about
Is
for
it
your
worse?
personal well-being in comparison.
Yeah. There's bad, and then there's really, really bad, and then there's we fucked up bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not bringing it to her does not. It's nothing. There's no super good or bad to not following through.
Okay.
I've never had to deal with augury before, so this is like me. This is really wrecking my DM's brain.
No, that's fair. I this is my first time playing a cleric, and I saw the entire cleric spell list, and I was like, I'm going to for the first day, I'm going to pick the most obscure spells other than healing spells, because I want to see if these can come in handy.
And I appreciate it. That one's actually, one that I think more people should put thought into.
Thaumaturgy is a great cantrip.
Yes, it is.
So, as a tiefling,
you already have it as a tiefling,
yeah.
So just use it all the time, man. It's great. Anyway,
Ella would kind of just as the kind of like ends. I'm sorry if you were gonna say something.
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay.
I was thinking about possibly saying something along the lines of choices. Like, I know weapons, right?
Yes.
I grown up in the military, like
say.
I would know kind of the composition of the sword. Blade versus.
I mean, a sword does have a very basic composition.
I mean, yes, but like, so Othello would basically suggest, like, what if we reforged it with one piece of the current and gave her all the rest of the pieces that are authentic?
So you're saying you want to take one of the pieces of Zariel's sword and make it into another sword, or I guess a dagger?
Sword? We give her the pieces. She doesn't notice one's not original. Like, basically the properties would be within the blade versus in the hilt. Like, does the hilt matter to the sword actually working?
Or is all of the properties of the sword hilt? That's also a possibility.
Right.
Well, right now, just to fully describe it, the hilt does have enough to sort of count as a dagger if you were to use it in that way. But unless someone has like identified magic, I
could cast it as a ritual. I can actually cast that as a ritual spell.
Okay.
Let me see. Because I literally just took detect magic off.
Just because we're already, running a little bit on the late side, I will say that as it is right now, it is not a functional magic weapon. It has remnants of its power, and again, I'm going to stretch what Identify would normally do, I think. But from what you understood of your spell and what Corbus was telling you before, something like this, if it were reforged by a divine being, that would make it a holy weapon once again. If you guys put it together, it's just mortals taking pieces of metal and forging a weapon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we weren't going to do that. We were going to take it to Bell. Maybe we need to ask Corvus too. Maybe I overstepped my bounds and was like, get the hell out of here. Hey, Corvus.
And you just hear from down the hall, 1 minute. This place is huge. Yeah.
What would happen? Well, what would your take be on us reforging the Sword of Zariel?
You guys reforging it?
Getting it reforged.
Okay. All right. This is a lot of assumptions. And if you got someone who could reforge it back to being an angelic weapon, originally Zariel put a piece of herself into the sword. That part she let go to the ether. It could still become an angelic weapon, and it might be possible to make it a very powerful one, depending. Now, Bell cannot do that because what radiant energy is already on here is going to be enough to burn him where he can't fix it. It might be possible to find someone who can. Now, let's say all of that gets done. It is theoretically possible that maybe Zariel could be convinced to take up the sword and leave hell. That's good for Bell. It could totally enrage her and send her into a homicidal fit. But at the same time, if it were forged correctly, it might be a weapon that could slay her. You guys would need to be more powerful for that to happen, but in theory, it's possible.
So it seems like there's a 66% chance of this going well and a 33% chance going poorly.
Yeah, we'll just say that it could go very good or very bad. But I find that's most things. I mean, a lot of times, what you think is going to be a devastating blow, it's extremely painful, but then you come through more powerful.
All right. I have another idea.
Fun?
Should I leave the room?
No, you're good for here.
Okay, I was trying to find the garage anyway.
Oh,
this thing is huge. There's an engine room somewhere around here.
Oh, we definitely lost him. You better get a seatbelt because there's gonna be a trail of fire behind this goblin.
The idea was we turn in the pieces to Mad Maggie.
Okay.
And then we, at a later date when we could forge the sword, we then break in and take them back. But I have to go to the garage now. So and then I'm like gonna run out and run down the hallway trying to find where the garage would be, because it never occurred to me that there might be a garage in this big ass thing. What do I need? What am I rolling here?
I'm going to call that a survival check for direction.
Oh God. All right. Well, let me go to my skills real quick because this is a horrible roll. Survival, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a 3.
Okay. He's going to be lost for a while.
There.
So the rest of you, like Corvus is just watching him run, like, I think I am going to spend eternity here. And we will leave it there for this episode of Warlords of Avernus. Like I said, we will hopefully have everybody here next time. And I am looking forward to it because even though what I thought was going to happen turned into this awesome role play session, you guys, I can already see the gears turning. And I'm back to the drawing board. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. So thank you so much. Let's do a quick round table where everybody can be found. Let's start with Tatiana.
Oh, God. I guess I can be found on Twitter at Lordess of Rings, and then I'm on Twitch as well at which is Lordess of the Rings. I wanted Lordess of the Rings on Twitter, but apparently that's too fucking long. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
And Jesse.
Hi, I'm Jesse, also known as Crumpler64. You can find me in all levels of social media on the same tag of Crumpler64. You can find me on, like, for example, on Instagram, on Twitter, and also on Twitch, where I'll stream every other Sunday with a group of girls called the Lovely Lady Crumps in our current Spelljammer D&D campaign. And actually, Tatiana is actually one of my players in that campaign. So it is actually kind of nice to sit next to her as a player for a change. I didn't expect it to be in this ensemble, but what do you get?
I will say that I just never know what to expect when you're going to be in the game.
And also, side note, you know how difficult it is to just find a normal bunny costume that wasn't like covered in blood or like something to the theme of Halloween as of late?
You know, I never thought of that.
For you should be covered in blood. Do you not remember the fact that you like stomp everything?
He does have
a rage, man.
Because I had just in a different chat, I just posted a picture of what I considered a barbarian rabbit folk who had blood dripping off his mace. I was like, oh, look, it's vermin. More vicious than I could have imagined.
Yeah, but it's like the carnival kind of looking kind of bunny kind of a look of Killer Bunny.
Yes.
And that's just like, that's not what I want. Just simple white, please.
Yes,
like,
this is definitely, day-to-day vermin. And we can picture him soaked in red, like with our imaginations. Yeah. Who'd have thought we use our imaginations in Dungeons and Dragons?
What a weird concept.
All right, I'm done.
Othello.
You can find me on Twitch, SmoothCast08. I stream every day except Sunday. Cool. That's really it. I'm on Twitter and Instagram, but I'm not on there much.
And Vlad?
Yeah, ironically enough, I'm the one that posts most of the stuff for his Twitter. Because I call him out every Wednesday when we stream together on Wednesdays when we play Halo. I stream on Wednesdays and on Twitch on Wednesdays and on Sundays it varies. Sundays, it's usually from like 2 to 6, but I'm at Vampire Vlad with an underscore.
Vampire underscore Vlad.
Vlad, that's right. Yeah. Vampire underscore Vlad at Twitch, and I am Vampire Vlad without an underscore on Twitter. I believe I said that right. And now I'm going to be questioning myself. But I'm on every social media. Well, that's not true. I'm not on Facebook. I'm on Twitter and Twitch. That's all I'm on. So
those are the ones you want people to go to. You don't want them to track you down on Facebook. That's when it starts.
I don't have Facebook. I don't have Facebook. We can talk about that later. But that's where you can find me, and I'm very happy to be included in this because I don't get to play very much. It's usually on the other end, so it's fun to be the player as opposed to the one that has to come up with everything. So.
And you literally went through a session where you almost had to come up with everything.
Yeah, I did sort of put you on. Well, I knew you wanted to build stuff. I didn't know what method you would use. But as for me, I don't need an introduction. You're on my channel right now, so you know who I am already. So thank you so much, all of our players. Thank you for joining us once again for Warlords of Avernus. Again, all I can say is that this was just a random idea I had, and the players are making this so much fun. And I'm so glad that we're slowly getting the whole group together. You know, this was entirely not meant to be some diabolical plan where we introduce one new person each game, but that's how it's working out. Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.